Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It's Wednesday, February 10th. I'm Jeff here with my friends, Stephanie and Erica. Let's jump right in here, Erica. What do you got there? What are you slipping away?
Oh, I was just like,
some past interview
there
that
was
you
just
did?
like moving cards around.
You know I love pulling back the curtain on what's going on. I love it. All right, Erica, I want your take on this. You weren't here for this show yesterday, but I want your take. Britney Spears has broken her silence, well, sort of, following the Hulu documentary about her life. We talked about this yesterday. Framing Britney Spears takes a look at her rise to fame at a young age, her breakdown, and ongoing conservatorship with her father. Yesterday, Britney posted a video of herself performing Toxic. Message there? I think so, from 3 years ago. She wrote that while she loves being on stage, she is, quote, taking the time to learn and be a normal person. She went on to say, quote, remember, no matter what we know about a person's life, it is nothing compared to the actual person living behind the lens. Listen, I'm behind the lens right now. I could kind of speak to what Britney is saying, not anywhere close to her level, but what do you think about this whole thing, the whole documentary? What were your thoughts about it?
Well, I think that it's important that the curtain has been lifted. You know, we really raise people up to tear them down. And at the end of the day, there's been so many iterations for Britney Spears, the person, Britney Spears' career, and all of those things have been up for public fodder. It's how a lot of people have made millions of dollars on her dime, you know, on her image. Britney has always been a train, and it's never been about the person. So I'm glad that she's at least spoken up to say, you don't know what you don't know, basically.
Right. Some new information. Kevin Federline did come out and say the estate, he thinks, quote, is doing a good job. He said, so whatever is going on with the conservatorship, he agrees with, even though this documentary and a lot of people online do not.
I don't think he's saying he fully agrees with the conservatorship.
He said they're doing a great job.
Well, I don't know, because he also tried to take out restraining order against Britney's father, Jamie, for apparently harassing and hurting his son, and he said he didn't want his children around them, and he spoke out at the time saying, you know, he didn't feel it was safe, allegedly. So I mean, I'm a bit confused by those comments, because literally a couple of years ago he tried to take that a bit further with the courts, and so I don't really understand that at all. And yeah, I mean, the conservatorship was actually described as a hybrid business model, and when you're under a conservatorship, I've said this before, it's generally for people that aren't able to think for themselves, that are elderly, that can't make smart decisions. Yet this is a woman that was bringing in over $58 million a year and taking home over $1 million profit to herself and her own account every single week from one of the most successful shows in Las Vegas. So that doesn't really make any sense to me. I don't really understand unless he's being sarcastic, but up until very recently, he said the polar opposite.
Well, he's getting paid, right? He's getting that child support. The current boyfriend doesn't agree with the conservatorship.
Not at all.
He's against that. He's very against
Very
it.
hard, very much so, yeah. And I said yesterday, I read out a quote that he put out on Instagram, which is now no longer online because it was an Insta story, but he said how strongly he felt about it. And he said, you know, he didn't come to America to be silenced, to not being able to speak about his relationship, to constantly be put under pressures by people that, you know, shouldn't be involved in their personal lives. So, I mean, I think they're making the case very clear, and I think all Britney's asking for, she's not asking to not be under the conservatorship anymore. She's just asking that it's anyone other than her father.
It's a tough situation, definitely. All right, guys. Let's talk about someone else, shall we? Kim Kardashian, why not? Has no time for haters, especially when it comes to her daughter. Kim recently shared this landscape painting done by her daughter, North, but some people were quick to question whether the 7-year-old had actually painted it. Let me get a that's really good. That was the first time I've seen that. Kim went off on Instagram saying, quote, "Don't play with me when it comes to my children." She said North has been taking oil painting classes, and the piece took several weeks to complete. She also lashed out at grown adults in the media and on social media who accused Kim of lying about North's abilities. So in Kim's defense, the daughter of North's art teacher also posted a video on TikTok showing off a very similar painting she did when she was just 7. Can we get that picture back up of North's painting? I appreciate the defense, but I want to get back to the question at hand. That's a really good painting. That's a really good painting.
Yeah.
And listen, I don't know, because it's Kim Kardashian, people are going to be over the moon with this, right? I think when you're artistic, it comes out at a very early age. Like, just my brother used to be able to draw animals, and they look like real animals at a very early age. I've never had that skill of drawing, so I think in Kim's defense in this, I hate to say that, not that I hate to say it, I hate to take Kardashian sides on this. Again, that doesn't sound right. I'm just trying to stick up for the little girl. How about that? To try not to make it controversial and more in everyday life.
Right, and I understand you sticking up for the little girl. You know, you're a dad yourself. My first thought was, why would Kim Kardashian post a piece of art and say that her 7-year-old did it if her 7-year-old didn't do it? Out of everything to lie about, really, is that what she's going to choose? To be honest, I don't expect anything less from the daughter of Kanye West and Kim Kardashian.
Right?
I'm just being honest. I think that the child is probably a genius. If there's something genius about her, apparently it's art, and I didn't not believe it for a moment.
How about this? Why you were on? I was totally relating with why would she post this, because she knows no matter what she posts, half of it's going to be hate, right? Shouldn't she expect that people are going to hate on this little girl, even though me and Erica believe that it's her painting? Aren't people just going to hate to be miserable?
Or people are going to hate on the Kardashians because they're jealous or because of their riches or their fame or whatever it is. But it's ironic. Kim actually posted as well a picture that was from her North's best friend that also has been going to the art class, and she posted that someone else had posted that online, and her daughter was getting loads of praise, saying, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing," because the daughter isn't famous, you know. Right. And everyone's like, "Whoa, how incredible!" And the pictures are very similar. And when you look at the artist's daughter, the picture's very similar too. So I think it's a specific technique that every single time they go, they learn a little tiny bit. And the pictures all look very, very similar. And it's something that's been going on for a long time with this particular artist, the teacher. She shows them how to do it. So I think obviously she's extremely talented. But I mean, I don't think Kim's going to be proud of North anyway. I mean, look when Kanye had his show in Paris and North did her exceptional rap, you know? She was posting that too. So I think she's just showing. She's just a proud mom.
Well, she should be.
Yeah, what if Kim's like putting little YouTube videos of Bob Ross up there? Because that was very Bob Ross-esque.
Oh my gosh.
Is it not?
Let the child live. I mean, come on. If you
Is that a
have
Bob
a
Ross,
child
or is that
and
a-
you're
is that
not
a North?
doting
Is that
over
a
your
Northwest?
child,
That's North.
what is the point? Okay.
Oh, that's a Northwest.
What, people just having kids to hate on them? Apparently.
I think
Hey,
people
listen.
just think
Child
just
up.
because
Trump's
it's a
not in office
Kardashian,
anymore. They got to
don't
hate on somebody, right?
Let your child.
Oh, hi-oh, he dropped a T word. We're moving on. We have a viral video to share that has literally become the cat's meow. A virtual court hearing, this is actually really funny, had a bit of a hiccup when one of the lawyers accidentally appeared using a cat filter. Check this out.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take
We're
a look.
trying to, can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It
And the-
is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
That's actually a pretty good video. That's a good one. The patience of that judge, though, bravo, right?
Here's the problem. Everybody's so focused in on the cat. Look at Jerry Phillips in the top right box. He's
Who's
sleeping the whole time.
Who's Jerry Phillips?
The guy in the top right corner.
Do you know that guy?
No, I'm reading the Chiron on his Zoom.
Oh, I was like, man, how do you know that guy? You're way into the law. I was like, Tori, is that you?
Gosh.
No.
He's taking a little nap. He's not having it. He's not having a cat
Jeff,
picture.
this will be you one day if you're filming from home and you come on and like maybe Lawson or Leighton has been on the iPad and like you come up as like a squirrel or something.
My kid's favorite thing to do, so we have the portal, right? The Facebook portal, and there's a little thing that you just hit effects on there. And then you can change your face, the background, and my kids love it.
Yeah.
And if you guys ever want to talk to them, they will be on they won't talk to you about anything. They'll just press the button for hours. So
Yeah.
you'll get nothing accomplished, but you'll see a lot of cat pictures.
I love it.
I'm familiar. Same with my nieces and nephews. Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
Do you know what this video reminds me of? Similarly, I don't know, just because it was funny like that. Do you ever see when the police officer hear that video of when he ate the pop brownies and he calls 911?
No.
And he's like, you guys never saw this video?
No.
And he's like, we just ate pop brownies. And he goes, because he's like high at the time. And he's like, I think we're dead. And he's talking to 911. You never heard that video?
No.
If for some reason, maybe I'm ate a pop brownie. But that reminded me of that cat video right there.
I love it.
All right, nobody's into the cat
Oh,
video.
man.
Coming
It's
up-
attorney at paw.
Attorney at paw. Who told you to say that in your ear?
All right.
I knew it! I knew it! I knew you wouldn't say that on your own. Coming up on DBL
Now I
is a
hate myself.
remake in the works for The Wizard of Oz. We'll tell you everything we know about it. And what does Bob Saget really think about his former Full House co-star, Lori Loughlin? Stephanie tells us what up. Very interesting. And What Up Wednesday next.
to DBL. I'm Stephanie Jones here to tell you what's up in the world of celebrity gossip. Like who Princess Diana once called the sexiest man alive, and shock, it wasn't Charles. Plus, what Bob Saget really thinks of Lori Loughlin. It's What Up Wednesday. But first, we're heading to Del Mar, California, because that's where the NFL quarterback Aaron Rodgers spends his time off. Now, his team didn't make it to the Super Bowl, but no worries, because he scored the love of Shailene Woodley. Their recent engagement news have left a lot of people surprised, but it seems like a match was already aligned in the stars. Here's what's up. Shailene and Aaron are both big fans of the same celebrity astrologer, even before they were dating. So to me, this can mean only two things: that they truly are star-crossed lovers, or is this astrologer one expert matchmaker? I don't know. Our next stop on the What Up World map is London, where Princess Diana has made the headlines once again. People magazine might have named Denzel the sexiest man alive in 1996, but Princess Di? Wow. She had another man in mind for the title: former President Bill Clinton. Yeah, you heard me say that right. Here's what's up. The reason we know this is because an interview from 2012 is getting new attention on the internet. And in it, Warren Buffett shares a story about meeting Diana at a party. And that's where she spilled the beans on her saucy news on old Bill. So, whilst it might have been John Travolta who gave Diana a famous twirl at the White House, it was a different White House occupant that caught the princess's eye all along. And finally, pack your bags for Hollywood, because Bob Saget is getting real about his former Full House co-stars. Lori Loughlin is now a free woman after serving time for her role in the college admission scandal, but that never changed Bob's opinion of Aunt Becky. In a new podcast interview, Bob says he's forever in the corner of Lori Loughlin.
You know, I just love her. I like to see a lot of other people doing time.
Do you think he told her, everywhere you look, everywhere you go, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to? Yeah, I hope you got that reference. Awful. That's it for this week's What Up Wednesday. We are back right after this.
All while you work, read, or watch TV.
I think it's really important to get people moving and
So artsy. I feel like I was a part of that creation. I wasn't. Welcome back to DBL. The Wizard of Oz is being remade. Well, sort of. New Line Cinema is coming out with a fresh take on the classic 1939 film. Wow. The original movie is under strict copyright that prevents filmmakers from remaking the same film. Instead, they can draw on themes from the book it was based on. It does look like the famous ruby red slippers, however, will be featured in the new film. You got to bring those back. Here's my question. People are so woke nowadays. Does like anybody relate to like the Tin Man or the Scarecrow and be like, I have a brain and you're saying I don't? Like, is there any sort of hatred coming from that? Or like, I have courage and now I'm the lion. You treat me like the lion from the Wizard of Oz. Is there anything stems from there that can't be redone today?
I think with a lot of these classics, we do run into some issues of how much they stay relevant through time. Like my favorite movie, Waiting to Exhale. Love that movie. I watch it at least 3 times a year, but now I realize that it was completely inappropriate for Wesley Snipes' character to be hitting on Angela Bassett's character when his wife was dying of cancer. But at the time, we were like, oh, he's a Prince Charming. You can never remake that.
Yeah, I think there's repercussions to the wokeness is like what I'm getting at.
I guess you're right, Jeff. I guess you're right.
So what do you think, Steph? You don't have to stay on this subject that I just created in my head.
I think with The Wizard of Oz, we've seen huge success with Wicked, the musical, a massive global success.
Which was fantastic.
And that was the story of how the 2 witches became the good and the bad witch, you know. And I do think I wouldn't even mind if the original Wizard of Oz was remade, and I'm a big fan of Judy Garland. Like I really love her and her work. So it surprises me actually that I would even say that. But yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to it. But I think things like Mermaids, you know, a Cher. No?
Mermaids?
I wouldn't want to see Mermaids remade. You don't know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, but not like...
I wouldn't want to see Pretty Woman with Julia Roberts remade.
See, that's another one. We would be far too woke for Pretty Woman to be remade. It has to live in its era.
What was this is really bad that it's really escaping me the name of it, but it was Bette Midler, and it was her as a child growing up with somebody. Is it called Beaches?
Beaches?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Wouldn't want to see that remade. That was gorgeous.
Yeah, you can't remake classics like The Godfather. I think the older films, you know. Mine was going to be Gladiator, but I guess you could kind of remake Gladiator. It's my favorite movie, so I wouldn't want to see anybody else. But that's one you could remake. I think when you take an older film with some of the older actors that aren't around anymore, those are like classics, and you don't want to mess with those till that generation has gone on. So
yeah, period. Some things we don't think of as period pieces, but like Bronx Tale, totally period piece. Like you cannot put that into any other era at all.
Movie. Great
for a
movie.
lot of reasons.
You know what I'd like to see remade? What I would like is Sleeping with the Enemy, another Julia Roberts movie, one of her first ones. Because it's a really good storyline, but I just think it was a bit atrocious. It just wasn't well done.
So you want to see it remade?
I would like to see that one.
All right, for different reasons, not for nostalgic reasons.
Mystic
because the first one
another
stunk.
good one.
All right.
Mystic Pizza.
I love really old 80s movies. Okay,
I was done after your first Mermaids reference.
Yeah, Mermaids. You know, is Cher? No, and like.
No. Did you ever see Splash with Tom Hanks?
Oh, I love Splash. Fantastic.
I can't believe you got that.
That would be great to be remade. Tom Hanks in Splash, fantastic.
You're all into the fish movies.
Oh God, I love it.
All right, we'll be right back.
Wonderful.
Riveting.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Welcome back to DBL, Steph's random movie references. I love it. All right, it's normal for your teeth to discolor as you get older, but did you know certain foods can naturally brighten them? We're chatting about it in DBL's Smile Bright, presented by Smile Direct Club. First, strawberries and watermelons, they both contain something called malic acid, which can whiten teeth and protect against tooth decay. I didn't know that. Next, pineapple and papaya. I was eating some paella in Spain. Never mind. These fruits contain a special enzyme that fight plaque. Lastly, milk contains lactic acid, which stimulates saliva, which helps wash away cavity-causing bacteria. When it comes to dental care, check out Smile Direct Club. They offer affordable and convenient dental care, from aligners to teeth whitening and much more. Visit SmileDirectClub.com.
Yeah, strawberries is an old club trick.
I didn't know that.
I've heard of that, but I've never tried it.
Yeah, if you drink red wine and you have strawberries, you just rub them against your teeth and it gets all of your red wine stains out.
I would think it'd make them more red, but it doesn't.
It does not.
You know what my favorite breakfast is? Because I got papaya and
I love papaya.
And papaya. I know, I love them both. But my favorite is papaya with some cottage cheese inside. After you cut it, that's my favorite breakfast, because maybe I eat it on vacation all the time.
Interesting.
Was that as random as Stephanie's movies references?
A little, but that's okay.
Okay, we got some comments.
That's okay. I love some cottage cheese and fruit. It's cool.
It's good.
We have comments about Britney. Jessica says, I think she's the happiest she's ever been. Doesn't have to perform, doesn't have to be stressed out. Where Ginger says, are we not going to talk about Britney's hot boyfriend? And he's younger than her, too.
Sam, yeah.
And then Nort's painting, Yvonne says, she did not paint that. Are you kidding me? Yvonne, why are you hating on a 7-year-old?
And why would that 7-year-old be like, hey, hold this and pretend like you painted it? No one's going to do that.
No.
Out of everything. Like, I mean, come up with, that's what you're going to lie about, really?
Wow, some people.
That's not, well.
Maybe people writing in should get a little painting hobby going.
Maybe.
Writing in. You never know. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place.